thought.
All right. You're walking out in the wild. You're going through a field. There's an apple tree.
A wild field?
There's an apple tree.
Okay, I can see it.
You're hungry.
Sure.
What do? Big, juicy, plump apples, just ready for the picking.
Okay. Am I on like a scary prospector's property who has a gun?
No, it's been forever since you've seen civilization, and from what you can tell, it's going to be a while before you ever see it again.
And why am I in this field?
Because your plane crashed.
Oh my god, am I okay?
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
What about everybody else?
Nope, everybody else died.
Oh no.
Yep.
Did Violet get a hold of him?
Apparently.
Okay, everybody else died.
Yep.
I am walking towards civilization, I assume?
You have no idea where civilization is, so it could be forever before you ever find it.
Okay.
This is your first and possibly your last sign of food.
Yeah.
And it's just a lonely apple tree out in the middle of this field.
Okay. I would eat an apple.
But this would go against your whole belief of veganism.
Why?
Because a bird made that.
Oh, fuck off, dude. No.
A bird?
Does an apple have a central nervous system?
A bird does.
Does an apple have a central nervous
Does
system?
honey?
No.
Okay. So a bird
No.
ate some pollen,
No.
got some sap,
No.
and then it pooed out that apple seed in that field.
Awesome. Is there any chance of me picking an apple and killing that bird? What's the likelihood of that?
The same as you purchasing honey and killing a bee.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say 1 out of 1,000,000.
Bye, Dean. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, Dean! I read those studies. They're pretty crap, to be honest. Wait, which studies? Pick the low-hanging fruit from these trees. Enjoy the leftover Frito pie.
We will. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Anyway.
Yeah. I don't ever want to talk about this again.
Honey comes from a bee's
serious.
behind.
I'm serious. Like I'm done talking about honey.
You're so much fun.
I know.
I know.
I'm just gonna drink my margarita, guys. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
You good?
I'm fine, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do you want to do now?
What are some simple veg recipes that aren't vegan? Well, I mean, mac and cheese, pretty easy to make.
Mm.
Whether it's the box kind or like you make a bechamel sauce, you add some cheese to it. There you go. Scrambled eggs. That's probably the easiest thing I can think of that isn't vegan. Jar of honey.
Fried rice.
Yeah, but would be able to get people to like veg more. Yeah, I mean, like, veggie lasagna is pretty easy to make. Eggplant parm. That's pretty good. Yeah. A lot of like Alfredo sauce with veggies. I'm trying to think of like vegetable heavy because most of the stuff I'm thinking of is more like dairy forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so cauliflower cheese is a pretty popular side dish in England. It's basically like baked mac and cheese, but instead of pasta, it's cauliflower with cheese sauce. Broccoli with cheese sauce. Cheese sauce, man. Just put cheese sauce on anything. That makes that shit endlessly eatable. Edible. Eatably edible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do that, but I just make the cheese out of cashews instead of dairy. But yeah, if you're like super into dairy, that's what I would do. That's probably the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Pour that shit on broccoli. Pour that shit on French fries. Pour that shit on potato chips. Yeah, whatever you want. Trying to get a kid to eat more veg. They don't want to just cover everything in cheese. I understand that.
Well, one of the things that worked for me is mushrooms. Like
Yeah.
there are
What's their mushroom tolerance?
there are so many dishes where if you just replace the meat with mushrooms, you can almost cook them the exact same way too.
We made one of our first Veg Curious episodes, and in the Discord, if you scroll up in the Veg Curious channel, we made like a lentil bolognese sauce. So bolognese is typically like meat sauce, right? It's like a spaghetti sauce with ground beef in it. And we made that, but instead of the beef, we used lentils. I personally I feel like that's a really good substitute. I think roasting vegetables is kind of an underrated thing. Like when I was a kid, anytime we had cauliflower or broccoli or Brussels sprouts or any veggie, it was boiled or steamed. So they were all really soft and wet and gross.
Yeah, not a lot of flavor.
Not a lot of flavor. You cook out all the nutrients. You cook out all the flavor. I almost exclusively now, like if we're going to cook veggies, we'll roast them in the oven. Like 20 to 30 minutes at like 400, 425 with just olive oil, salt, and pepper. And like if you cut Brussels sprouts in half, the Brussels sprout leaves get crispy. Kale chips, like taking the leaves off of kale, you coat them in salt and pepper. Not like coat, like a panko, but sprinkle them with salt and pepper, roast them in the oven, and they get crispy. Like I think playing with the texture and the way that you serve the vegetables, like to me that's fun. But I would say, like, if you're trying to get a kid to eat vegetables,
No, go ahead.
go to the grocery store with them and tell them they can pick out one thing in the produce section that looks fun. Like, there is some weird looking shit in the produce section. Like rutabagas look like albino carrots, or not rutabagas, turnips. Or dragon fruit that has like, that looks like it's on fire. Like there's a bunch of interesting stuff there. Like figure it out together. Figure out how to cook it. Watch a YouTube video. Like make it fun.
Or ranch.
Yeah, don't cook veg like a 50s mom. Roast them. Totally. Roasted Brussels sprouts are my favorite.
And slowly less ranch. Do you see this body? This is a body built by ranch dressing.
Yeah.
I started eating ranch dressing on everything, even healthier foods.
Yeah.
And this is what I have today.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to ask you something about something.
We were talking
But
about.
then before that, I was going to say mushrooms
Yeah.
as a substitute. Mushroom fajitas, which is basically all vegetables to begin with, and then a meat product. You just replace the meat with mushrooms. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, replacing the meat with a mushroom.
Yeah.
It's just straight up. It works.
Yeah.
Um,
Some people are really anti-mushroom, like they just don't like the texture of mushrooms, and I totally get that. Chop it up, like grind it up in your food processor, and make it tiny. Put that in your spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
And it's like ground beef.
Yeah.
You gotta fool them. There's a, funny enough, we were watching a video of this comedian who does an impression of Seinfeld. And he has jokes about, like, what's the deal with algebra homework? You're trying to have a date, but your girlfriend just needs to do her algebra.
Yeah.
Because Jerry Seinfeld, his wife, who is his current wife, he started dating her when he was in his mid to late 30s, and she was 17. And everybody kind of forgets that he was a weird predator dude. So, his wife, Jessica, wrote a cookbook, actually a couple of cookbooks, about sneaking veggies into your kids' food. Which, I mean, I don't have kids, so I get the luxury of telling you what to do, but, like, do what you gotta do. I feel like, the way to get kids over being somewhat picky is to introduce them and let them know what they're eating so that they know that the things that they were weird about trying actually tastes good.
Yeah.
Once I tried dragon fruit, but I didn't like it. I don't know that I've ever had actual dragon fruit. I think the only dragon